everyone. So what I'm trying to do here is, as you can see, the back of the house here. So the soil here is nearly flat, so the water basically is not really draining properly. I've got downpipes going from the roof all the way down underground, but the water that's getting ponding here basically doesn't really drain out, so it goes under the house. And I've noticed already the soil in the house is moving. So as you can see here, minus 18. So basically the house is going down a bit. Minus 17, and over there is minus 21. So what I'm trying to do here is I was trying to collect all the water from the backyard, especially this area here that's basically sloping the opposite direction, and I put these channel drains, collect the water from here. It goes into there, so the channel drains will be installed in there. I'll recess them about 50 mil and basically connect the channel drains into these downpipes, so the water will be taken out of the backyard and out. I'll show you now. So these ones are just basically, you click them, they just click in. I'll try to show you how to do it. Just basically that's it. You hear a click and that's it. So the last one, you're gonna have an end cap and you connect it into these downpipes. So you put your level. I will be connecting them to both downpipes anyway. It's not just to one, so I don't really have to slope it. So the water could go left and right, and I could probably lift it right in the middle, in there, somewhere there. I can lift it up slightly so that the water could go left and could go right into the downpipes, just slightly. Water doesn't really need a big fall anyway, probably 1%, if that, and that should be fine. Okay. The next step here now is to expose the downpipes, all these piping inside the old ones, and you try basically to get, see, for this one here, that's where you need to make a cut. You cut all of that, and then basically you need to make sure that it fits perfectly, side fits perfectly. So you do that, and then you do the other side. So the other side, I made something custom. So because I have male and male, so basically I just put this one here just like a ring around, like a collar. So that one, it will go inside and on the side. So I have already taken measurements on the height, so I just put lines there, as you can see, lines how it's gonna, to what height it's gonna come to. So from there, I've tested it, it's all fine, so it goes in there. So the next step after this one here now is to install the channel drains and level it. I leave about 50 mil. I leave about 50 mil for the concrete. Basically I need to pour concrete first, and then I push this one inside. I need to put some spacers, just like chairs or whatever you have anyway, as long as the concrete flows below that and around it. As I said earlier, you don't have to slope it really, but if you want, that's fine. But because I used 2 outlets, so one there, one on the other side, so I might probably just keep it flat and it should be fine. Okay, so the reason I decided to do that is, as you can see here, there is a lot of water, and what water is doing is this is basically the whole house is moving and basically cracking your foundations. So what I'm going to try to do now is to reduce the amount of water, and hopefully it's going to settle in the long run. So around this area, what I'm going to do, I'll be putting holes in here. So if there is any water that comes from there, it will actually go inside rather than going below that. So holes in there, and rather than water going inside basically below that, you have a chance that the water is going to come here first. Okay. The other step now, what I did here, as you can see, my apologies, I couldn't really show you all the steps while I'm doing it because I have to hold the phone and do the job, so it's not that easy. So here I just use a masking tape, just normal masking tape, to cover the entire channel drain, just because when you pour concrete, you won't go inside, and at the same time when you finish your concrete, you peel the masking tape off and you get it very clean, and you don't have to clean it afterwards, and you won't have to deal with the concrete falling into the drain because they are a bit hard to open. And on the edges, I use the compressible material. It's a 10 mil as per the instructions by the manufacturer. These ones, the reason we use these ones is because when you try to open the grates, if you wanted to clean for maintenance, it's a matter of sticking the screwdriver in these little holes provided, and basically it will compress this one here, it will open. Without this, you're gonna have a big problem to open them. It will not open. So the compressible material you buy, that's this one here. That's this one. So I bought it 50 mil. I don't need 50 mil wide, so what I did is I just basically cut it in half. It's 25 mil, that's all you need for the edges. But this is a sticky tape, but it's double-sided tape that you need to stick at the back so that you stick it very nicely to the PVC. Meanwhile, this is just me thinking, I already put it here, as you can see on the wall. Maybe a lot of people will ask, what is that for? I'll tell you, every concrete shrinks. So if it shrinks, so it leaves a gap behind that compressible material, and water could easily flow behind. The rainwater, for instance, flows behind that into the ground, into the soil, and basically it goes into the foundations. So what it is when I put this one here, then when the concrete is poured 24 hours later, I'll peel this one off. Basically I'll take it off, I'll dig it out. It's very easy to dig it out anyway. And I use any kind of caulking product. It's a flexible caulking product in there, so that when there is a shrinkage, which is expected, shrinkage of the concrete, at least that caulking product would still seal that joint. So it's gonna go all the way. So I would continue to do that all the way to the end. and we'll show you the next step later. Okay, as you can see here, you put a formwork in there. You just actually, the reason of using this formwork is to get a straight line. Then you round the edge, you round it up. So as you can see, so it's straight line, straight as possible. Doesn't have to be perfect, but this is to get a straight line, and you round it up. You don't have to have sharp edges in there, and you don't have to have all concrete finishing to feather edge. Once you do that, you use these guides. This one's basically it's to prevent it from moving, and you go and pour. You pour your concrete. If you can pour everything in one day, it's great. I can't do it in one day, so basically I do the first layer and do the next layer afterwards tomorrow, or when I get some time. Okay, the step before last is basically put the second layer of the concrete to get to how you wanted your drains to look like. So what I did here is, as you can see here, so I sloped it. So the reason I use this compressible material there, I'll remove it afterwards, and I will be using a caulking product in there, so that even if the concrete shrinks, the caulking will actually follow the movement, and you have better chances the water is not going behind that concrete. So as you can see there, so it's got a shape, so the water that's coming from the grass here is going to fall down and into the drain. The last step that you're going to do afterwards is basically break the sharp edge. I made this one myself. If you want to go to the hardware store and buy one, that's great. Otherwise I just made it myself. So what this one is, on here, just you need to cut the sharp edge in there, break it. I mean, not cut it, but break the sharp edge, and it gives it a very nice finish. You can make one yourself as well. It's a very simple thing anyway. Just the shape that you want, but the rounded shape is probably the best one. Okay. Once the project is finished, I will let you know, and I will show you how it's gonna all come together. Yeah, here we are again. This is the last stage basically. As I said to you in the previous video, we use the as you can see here, the compressible material in there, so that it doesn't really consume too much of this caulking compound. So you just leave probably roughly about 10 mil in and 10 mil wide. Make sure it's clean. Here there is a little bit of soil in there and dust. We just need to blow it or clean it the way you can. So hold on. Okay, do it as much as you can. So basically here, Okay, so I just made this piece plastic so that you can try to flatten it. So the purpose of this basically is, if there is any water that tries to get underside of the house into the foundation from the construction joints, there is at least this caulking compound that will prevent it, or at least reduce the penetration of water. What it is, hold on. Yeah. So here it is. You can see there. You can see here. And the project basically is finished. Okay. If you have any questions, please just put them in the comments. I will respond as soon as I can. Otherwise, if you like, leave a like there. If you want to share, please share. Okay guys, thank you. Bye.